All right, we're going to be working on dividing decimals by decimals with the models. So we're going to be dividing, as example, 0.6 divided by 0.2, which is 6/10 divided by 2/10. So the first thing that we're going to do is get a couple colors. I'm going to get red, blue, and green. Just for now, I might need a couple more colors. And I'm going to get a pen that's not black. You can use one that's black, but I want it to be able to show up to you. The first thing I want to do is I want to shade my first, I'm going to do shade 6/10, which is 6 rods. So I'm going to get my red and I'm going to shade 6 of the rods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's my dividend. All right, now I want to divide it into groups of 2/10. So this is my total. This is my group size. Okay, and this will be my number of groups here. So I'm going to circle an even groups of 2/10 or 2 rods. So I'm not going to color them in right now. 1, 2. I'm going to do 2/10. I'm going to circle for each group. So that's 1. 1, 2. That's 2. If I did this again, I'd probably do a lighter color. And 3. So how many groups do I have? I have 3 groups of 2/10. Count the even groups means with no remainder. I don't have anything left. So this would be 3 groups. I'm actually going to get a lighter color. I'm going to try yellow this time. So I'm going to shade 75 units. Units are cubes, the little cubes. Okay. I'm going to circle and number even groups of 500ths or 5 units. I'm going to count the groups. So first of all, 7. Let me see. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And those are my full rods. And then I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 75 hundredths. And now we're going to go through and do groups of 5 hundredths in each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. There's another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 with nothing left over. We have 15 groups, nothing left over. Our answer is 15 groups. So I went through and counted 5 hundredths and circled each time, and I ended up with 15 groups. So let's do this one. We're going to shade 65 units here. I'm going to do it lighter this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, hold on a second. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Was it 65? Here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's 65. Now I'm going to do groups of 300ths or 3 units. So every 3 units is a group. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So this is group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 14. 1, 2, 3, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and I have 2/10 left over. 2/10 left over. Okay, so I have the 2 units is the same as 2 hundredths. Okay, count even groups. So my remainder is over there. It's 2 hundredths. So how many groups do I have? I have 21 groups. With 200 left over. We are going to say that this is 21 remainder 200ths. So we are going, this is the dividend, which is the big number. This is the divisor, the smaller number, our quotient, and our remainder. Now, Miss Ray, you said we cannot have remainders when we're doing dividing decimals. Why are you giving me an answer with a remainder? Isn't that going against what you just showed me? Now, typically, if it has a remainder, I'm going using the models. It is going to be a repeating decimal. And so this is what I would do. If you get a remainder, I would just go through and see if you can figure out with a standard algorithm. And I'm going to show you what a repeating decimal is. Okay? So if I was to use the second one, which is came up as 200ths as a leftover, is I'm going to do into 6500ths. Okay, so I'm going to move it over. So now it's actually 3 into 65. Well, I know 3 doesn't go into 65 evenly. I'm going to have a remainder. So I have, that's 6. That is 1, and I have a 2 left over. Okay, well, if I was to get my decimal point, bring a 0 down, it'd be 20. It would go in 6 times. It would come out as 20. It would be 6 times. And it would keep going and going and going and going, and it would never end no matter how many zeros I pull down. So that is a repeating decimal. It means it's not going to cut off no matter how many zeros you have. So what I would do in that case is that I would do it twice to see if it happens again. And no matter what we do, we're still going to end up with 20. No matter how many zeros I pull down, it's always going to end up being that. So I would just say 6, 6 with a repeating line like this. This means that the 6 repeats itself over and over and over again. That is when you would end up with a remainder in a model. So typically you will not have questions with remainders on the test. It will always work out eventually to where you would have 0 at the bottom. But if you ended up with a remainder on your model, it is a repeating decimal.